Yeah. If you wake up tomorrow with a fine on your door, don't call asking why. Just remember your little joke here. Okay? I beg your pardon. I'm sorry. I'm not with that HOA fuckery. So I don't know what fine you're talking about. You couldn't pay me to live in an HOA. Because at the end of the day, the only reason why an HOA even exists anywhere is so that control freaks, such as yourself, can be a control freak. That's it. At the end of the day, that's all it's about. It has nothing at all to do with preserving the look of a neighborhood. Absolutely not. I live in a neighborhood where everyone is cordial with one another and we mind our own business and respect boundaries. And should anyone like you come around, well, you'll only come around once. Trust me. Because what you'll leave with is something you won't forget. I'll tell you that. That is not true. That is not true, and you know it. Okay? I'm not going to stand here while you disrespect me this way. I am a mother. Well, I need whoopity doo. I'm a dad. Who cares? I missed the part where that's supposed to matter any, because it doesn't. Oh, I get it. Oh, you don't like it when people disrespect you, but you're totally fine with disrespecting other people, making other people's life a miserable living hell. How's this for high takes? After you get your obtuse ass out of my way so that I can pay for my shit, how about you get a fucking hobby and get a life and get fucking real while you're at it? Oh, yeah, spoken like a true misogynist. Okay, no one gonna stop this man. Like, I can't believe you guys are gonna let this misogynist disrespect me like this. I am a woman. I am a mother. Are you serious? Yeah, That's twice you've said that now. And it still doesn't matter. Being a woman and a mother does not give you a free pass to treat other human beings like they are less than that of a human being in any form, way, shape, or fashion. You see, Karen, this is the part where you take your leave. Catching hints must not be your game. This is the part where you turn around, shut up, and walk away. And have the day you deserve, Karen.
All righty. So
Did I did I really say all that?
you did.
Let's go with the bigger one. There we
Okay.
go. Yeah, that was epic. That was really good.
Did I really say that? God. Once I do the piece, and I post it, I try to stay as far away from it as possible.
I can understand that. I can definitely understand that. But the thing is it's like, uh, yes, this is what hasn't been said for so long, and I think that that's what people admire and appreciate about you. Is this is what everybody's thinking. Aaron says that particular accent is like speaking in cursive.
It is. It's it's very unique. It really is. Um, Me, I sound normal, to myself, but as soon as I start speaking, everybody turns their head, like when did General Lee walk in here? You know, you know, but hey, I mean, I am who I am, and
Rambo.
you know, it's Aussie Cajun is what it is.
Right. Yeah, tell us
Aussie
about that.
Cajun.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, you see, I've got Aussie descendant on my father's side, and my mother, she is a Cajun. and she
Mm.
is from Baton Rouge. She was from Baton Rouge, and well, they had met in Dallas, Texas, where I was conceived, and they had moved to East Tennessee to Greenville. Why? I do not know. I never questioned my parents. I knew better. I knew a lot better than to question my parents. My parents had 11 kids. Um, I was second from the last. I'm not the youngest, but I'm one of the youngest. And I
Right.
just, remember it well. My father, he was really hard. My father was very, very hard. He wasn't a people person at all. My father hated people. He hated people, and he would go out of his way to avoid people.
Mhm.
My mother, on the other hand, she was super sweet,
Nice.
super nice. Um, we grew up eating. I grew up eating Cajun, food, seafood. Um, my mother, people couldn't even hardly understand her half the time because she had that real, real deep Cajun drawl, and I've got just a mixture of both. You know, you it's really easy for me to come out, and be like, "Hello, mate," but you get it's really easy for that to happen.
Right.
So it's sort of a mixture of, I guess Tennessean, Cajun, and Aussie.
Mhm.
That's
Um,
amazing.
It's pretty cool. It's certainly unique. I like it. Of course, everybody here loves the way you talk. Obviously, Aaron
Mhm.
brought up, sounds like you're speaking in cursive, and
Yes.
it's part of your charm. It's part of who you are, and it's one of the things that makes you great. But that beautiful brain that you have is what really, people really appreciate, because you see the truth for the way it is, and you have the courage with which to
Mhm.
speak it. And I think that that's one of the most important things that's going on here in this day and age is people speaking up. Hey, Mama. Um, so it's kind of that is the important part. I think
Mhm.
that you'd probably reject it or whatever, but it's kind of role model kind of stuff as we go through these trying and challenging times.
Mhm.
oh yeah, um, it is definitely a trying, challenging time. Uh, individuals like me are not welcome, in a lot of places
Mm,
because I'm the type of person that if I'm thinking it, there's a good chance I'm gonna say it.
right.
I mean, and that's just how I was raised.
Hmm.
You say what you need to say, and I'm not somebody that likes to go around stirring up stuff. Absolutely not.
Right.
But if I see something, uh, you know, pardon my language here, pardon my French, but if I see some fuckery, I'm gonna
Hmm.
call it out. I call it out for what it is. And this is how I say it. If you're offended by being called out, then don't do it. Don't do it. Don't identify with that crowd. God gave you, a brain with common sense. There's a good
Hmm.
we might be related, Tide 2020. I don't know. We might be. There's a good chance. I've got family in Louisiana. I've got family in Texas. I've got family in Tennessee and Australia. So within all that space, there's a good chance. But obviously, this is part of my family as well. Kay and Santino.
Well,
Uh,
you're part of this entire family that we have going on
Yes.
here.
yes, and I'm very obliged to be here. I'm obliged to be here. I love it. Um, but no, I just feel like that a lot of people are just scared to say what they think because they're scared of getting canceled. They're scared of losing their job, getting blasted on the media. And my message to people is don't be afraid of these people. Don't Most of these people couldn't carry a tune in the bucket. I call them can't fight, can't shoot, can't provide because they can't. Most of
Right.
them can't. They don't know up from down. So, and they hate it. They absolutely hate it when they see people like me. And so I
Mhm.
hope that, once I've left this world, I hope that people can follow in my footsteps
Mhm.
and speak out. Don't be afraid to voice what you support. Don't be afraid to call something out. Don't be afraid of that Karen. Don't be afraid, to tell
Right.
that Karen to screw off.
Oh, that's what they need.
That's right.
Aaron donated, and he said, "Damn Skippy Doc, call out the turds and let the people know they stink." And
That's right.
it's exactly what it is. We had one of those homeowner association Karens once upon a time.
Oh, it was terrible.
Yeah, and it was because we backed our car into the parking spot as opposed to pulling the car in, and I let her know it's unsafe to pull in, and then she wanted to basically go the don't talk back route, and I gave her a piece of my mind. I don't remember exactly what I said, but I know it wasn't friendly.
It wasn't nice.
It wasn't nice, and then nothing ever came of it. But she knew that she was barking up the wrong tree. And the sad
Mhm.
thing is all that means is that she decided that she wasn't going to mess with me, as opposed to changing her attitude. And the only way these people are going to change their attitude is if they get informed about the behavior that really nobody likes.
That's right.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it boils down
Mhm.
to in the end.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I agree.
I hear you, Aaron.
Yeah,
Aaron,
Aaron, 100%. That's where most of them are. And you would be surprised
training grounds.
on how many of these Libbies live in these protected, neighborhood. And isn't that funny? Isn't that
Mhm,
funny? They
mhm.
want to live in this protected neighborhood. It's got all these walls and gates around them, but they say that a wall at a border doesn't work. Now, somebody riddle me that. Somebody riddle me that. Okay. You want to live in a safe gated neighborhood,
Mhm,
and those
Mhm.
walls work for you, but
mhm.
a wall ain't going to work down at the border. Why not? Why not?
Exactly. Well, and that it's just hypocrisy at its finest, and
It
it's
is.
and I don't understand where people get that from, and what
Mhm.
authority do you think you have by going to a homeowners association and being a member of it? It's like, yes, you're there, but well, like you pointed out in the video, is that it's like you're gonna find. Of course, then again, you don't even live there. Squirrels are running free today, but they feel that they have some kind of power to adjust people's behaviors because they can find people. Talk about the absolute basis, the foundation of corruption.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Uh,
And yeah, exactly, Denise. It makes it easier for them to nourish their 15-minute city vibes.
Well, did you see what Aaron said?
I would live out of a tent under a bridge eating out of a dumpster before I knowingly signed an HOA document.
And you see what
Aaron,
Tracy
I agree
said?
with you 100%. 100%. I'd live
Yeah.
in a box before I'd live in an HOA.
They're miserable experiences a
Yeah.
lot of
They're
the time.
miserable people.
There you
They
go.
really are. They're
A
Mhm.
miserable people.
flagpole. A flagpole.
A
They gave
flagpole.
her issues over a flagpole.
That's
Mm,
awful.
Yeah.
That's awful. Like what? Is airplanes going to run into the flagpole or something? Is it that high?
right.
I mean,
Yeah, just make sure your blinking lights are there.
really? I mean, what's going to happen? I mean, what's it going to hurt?
Right.
Sounds about right, Rambo.
I mean,
It's
Exactly.
not squirrels.
Misery loves company, and I think
Mhm.
you're
that's what
right.
those people
There it
are.
is. Exactly,
That's
Jenny.
right.
Mhm.
Exactly. Misery loves company, and they're miserable, and they get some modicum of power that they feel that they can lord over everybody in their petty kingdom.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden, oh, okay, good. You can be as miserable as me. No, that's not how this one works.
Yeah. No,
Right.
thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you. So, Doc tagged me in this video, and I must say, we're going to watch it. And then I have questions because I don't like this video, but it's something we got to talk about because it's what us people that are trying to enlighten other people go through every single day. The truth
happens.
speakers. You ready?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Unknown man gets in my car and waits for me to come out. This happened the same night I received a threat. Thank God I was off that night. This is the change you take when you speak the truth. I will not be intimidated. I will not back down. I will not be silenced.
All right. What happened?
Well, over this past weekend, and I receive countless death threats in my messages. I do, and most of them, poppycock. Most of them.
Right.
I
Yeah.
don't pay no never mind to any of them because most of it it's just all talk. Well, I had received one uh, from an account. It was a user account, obviously. A faceless coward. That didn't have a name, a picture. They had no videos. They had like 2 followers. And well, I didn't think nothing of it. And I just deleted that person.
Mhm.
Well, at around 12 o'clock at night, because
What do you mean when you say deleted that person?
I blocked them from the account.
Gotcha.
But I blocked them from the account, totally just deleted, that
I
Yeetus
gotcha.
deleted, Yeetus deletus, to them. So, well, at around 12:30 ish, because I work at night, because I'm a night owl. But I look outside, and there's these 3 men, and this guy gets in my car, and he sits there until 4 in the morning. Guy sits there until 4 in the morning, and I'm like, oh my god! I was like, this guy is waiting on something. I don't know. And so we
Yeah.
just contacted authorities, and turned the film over to them. It took me a long time to put this film up because I didn't know if I was allowed to, because
Right.
with it being on the investigation stuff. Um, of course, it's very difficult to identify the men because it's very fuzzy.
Yeah.
But definitely on high alert, with that. And I mean, that's the price that you pay
Mhm.
that's a chance that you take when you
Mhm.
stand up and you say, no, I'm not going along with your woke bullshit. I'm
Mhm.
not playing the guy. I'm not sitting at the unstable table. Okay. I sit at the adults table. I'm an
Right.
adult. We're going to act like an adult. Okay. Whatever delusions or fantasies that, this person has going on, you know, that doesn't mean that I have to play along. That doesn't
Right.
necessarily mean that I have to play along with it.
Mhm.
And it didn't really scare me because hell, I mean, I've had people literally confront me in public, you know, but that doesn't scare me. And that's why I said in the video, you're not going to intimidate me.
Mhm.
I've seen scarier stuff in my daughter's diaper. You know, I've seen scary shit in my daughter's diaper before. That doesn't scare me. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
And like I said, if I go out because I was telling the truth, because I stood up and said no, hey, that's a noble way to die, if you ask me.
I agree. I agree. I don't think it. I mean, it is scary that it can be a physical threat, and
Mhm.
it shouldn't be that way.
No, it shouldn't.
And I think that it's important for us to drive through that and just kind of recognize that no weapon formed against us will prosper. because we know we're doing the right thing. We're doing the right thing, and we're doing something. We're doing what our heart is leading us to do for something greater than ourselves. And I have a feeling that that will get us that divine providence that built this country will also be the very same divine providence that will save us as we come out of this sleep. You know, we were talking earlier before the show about the oh God, I lost it. Wow, what is going on today? I'm having a day. I don't even know.
Water.
Yeah,
It's all
well,
right.
yeah. Actually, yeah, because I started coffee again, and now the brain ain't working.
Oh, stop.
So with that being said, I did catch wind. It was like 10 or 11 days ago that Tennessee's state legislature had done the
Statewide fast.
statewide fast. And I was like, oh, that's a good idea. I can get along with that. I might not be in Tennessee, but I figure, the more people going along. So I gave up caffeine and heavily sugared items for that very thing, for that fast that Tennessee is doing. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'll be a part of that. And then it finally ended today because today's the first. It's the beginning of the month, so the month-long fast is over, and it's like, all right, back to caffeine. And now I'm finding out that it's making everything significantly worse. So I think I probably just need to stick with water. Oh Lord,
I couldn't give up caffeine.
No.
I'm sorry. That's just one thing I couldn't give up. Coffee is my driving force. I'm sponsored by coffee. What am I talking about? I mean, here it is, 7:30, Eastern Standard Time, and I just
Yeah.
drank my cup of coffee. I've got somebody going and getting a cup for me. If they
That's
hadn't come
awesome.
back yet, I hope they didn't get lost from my cup of coffee. You can get lost as long as you don't have my coffee. Yeah.
Exactly.
Jenny, they're gonna have to pry your coffee cup from your cold dead hands. Is what I'm
Yes.
Yeah.
hearing.
Yes.
Yeah,
Me too.
I have a coffee cup in one hand and shotgun in the other, That's
Anyway,
me, buddy, all day long. It's me. I'm just a simple man, really all I am. I
that's the
made
best
a
way to be. Good song.
oh yeah, really good song. I can relate to it because it just,
Yeah.
simple man that just wants the world to go back to some form of normalcy.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Bye, Brother Bill.
See you later, Brother Bill. God
See ya,
bless you,
Bill.
man. Yeah, coffee and cigarettes were my fuel back in the day. Yeah,
Oh
I
yeah.
understand, Mamo. Whew. So, anyway, back to Saki, back to the original conversation at hand. It can be terrifying, but I think that your attitude that you have is exactly right. It's exactly where it should be, and that is I can't live my life in fear of what somebody might do. Have to drive on with what I know to be right, because if I was to not go out and speak what I see, and that would make me feel worse in the end, whether we win, lose, or draw. If I didn't do my part by going out there and trying to say something, I would have a very difficult time living with myself, especially understanding the beautiful nature of what this country is. It is the last great chance for the people to rule themselves and not have some overlords, even though that's what we've been living under for so long. BlackRock, Vanguard, the modern
Yes.
East India Trading Company, is what I'm calling them. And we've been living under whatever they have, and it's just not working out. And we shouldn't have to live that way. And by right, we don't have to live that way. So
That's
we
right.
have to stand up for ourselves, and we have to get that word out, because in the end, it's about numbers of people. The more people wake up, the more people realize that it's just an agreement with what they're saying. And if we don't agree, then what they say doesn't matter. It's mind over matter. If we don't mind them, then they don't matter.
Well, yeah,
Right.
but one of the things I want to know is what started you down this path? Because,
Mm, good question.
Santino and I have been like 5 years into this. So, what was your aha moment?
Mm.
They're lying to us. This is BS, or whatever happened for you.
Well, the moment that I had realized that we were, living in a false ideology was when Donald Trump came down the escalade,
Mhm.
the escalator, announcing that he was running for president. Okay. And, I thought that, this was just going to be, another election. How very wrong I was. And I witnessed people just enraged. I mean, people were just so mad. And I was just like,
Mhm.
what is the hell is wrong with these people? Why the hell is so it's the Donald. It's the Trump.
Mhm.
Donald Trump, everybody loves Trump.
Mhm.
Donald Trump was God, an icon, in America. He was the, ideal of the American dream,
Mhm.
for God. How many generations? How many
Well,
decades?
for a long time.
A very long time, even since before my time. And I was like, God, this is weird. Why are some people so mad? And then, you know, began to notice more and more and more of this hate that I'd
Mhm.
never seen before. I'm in my mid-30s, and I
Right.
have never, ever, ever seen hate like this that just
Right.
sprang forth out of the ether, just sprang forth in these people,
Mhm.
and just the day before, these people were normal. And I was like,
Ish.
yeah, normal-ish, and then next thing you know, these people turn into like these, get Trump, sort of thing. And
Mhm.
I'm just like, wow. It's like what, so I began to look into Trump. I was like, man, this guy must have really done something.
Mhm.
So I looked into him, didn't find anything. Every accusation that they threw out, it was the total opposite. And I was like, oh my God, this is a coup. I was like, these people are launching a coup against our country, and we don't even
Mhm.
see it yet.
Hmm.
And that's when I found Kim Clement. That just
Awesome.
stumbled upon his video out of the nowhere. And he had talked about Donald Trump becoming a trumpet that
Mhm.
will, bring about a revival that will wake people up, that is going to shake this nation to its knees. And he talked about the impeachments. He talked about all of this stuff that we're seeing happen now. So that was my calling right then and there. And I just got
Pretty
on
early on.
TikTok and I just started speaking. And
Mhm.
I first started out as debunking all of
Yeah.
this communist propaganda, because that's really what it is.
Mhm.
Anytime you turn on mainstream media, they are going to just spray you with communistic propaganda, buzzwords, talking points,
Mhm.
poppycock nonsense. Okay.
Mhm.
And that is all it has been about Donald Trump. And that, and the more people came at me, the more I knew I'm doing something right, because I'm pissing a lot of people off. So I must be doing something right. So I just kept going and I just kept going, and people began to follow. And I did a live about this a couple of months ago from livestock to TikTok. And because I grew up in Greenville, just a little farm boy, and went from livestock to TikTok because I seen the fuckery that was going on. And I said, this ain't right. This is why would you weaponize the legal system to go after one man? And he
Mhm.
hadn't even done anything. What is really going on here? And then that's when I saw that this is not a political battle. This is a religious battle,
Mm.
because the demons are manifesting. I mean, you just look. Donald Trump shows his face. These people go nuts. These
They
people
do.
go
Yeah.
absolutely crazy. And I'm just like, what kind of hate do you have to have in your heart to literally just go from being a normal person to just bam, flip on a drop of a dime.
Mhm.
And this only validated what had happened to Donald Trump. The assassination attempt on him had only validated my beliefs on what I'm doing is just, on what I'm doing is right, because I've questioned myself before. Am I just stirring shit up? Or am I really showing people the truth? Or what's really going on?
Mhm.
And when that happened, I was like, oh yeah, this is a spiritual battle. They want to kill him.
Mhm.
And when I seen these people on the left, and trust me, friend, for all of you in the audience, let me tell you something. I have dealt firsthand with these people. I deal with these people on a daily basis. Okay, these people on the left, these rabid, irate people, they hate our country. They are
Mhm.
bitter with our country. They hate our Declaration of Independence. They hate our Bill of Rights. They hate our Constitution. I mean, look what they say about our flag. They,
Mhm.
they, they can't stand to see somebody proudly waving that flag. These people, they're not interested in any kind of debate. They're not interested in any kind of common ground, and they don't want to be your friend. Trust me, friend, I have spoke with these people firsthand. They'd
Mhm.
rather have you dead. They'd rather have you dead than,
Mhm.
and I
That
know this
became
because
apparent with the whole not letting people get not wanting to give people medical care because they chose not to get the jab.
vaccine.
Well, wait a minute,
They
because
do hate themselves, Denise.
you can burn the American flag, but if you take your vehicle and do a burnout on a pride flag that's been painted in a crosswalk, you go to jail
Oh no,
immediately.
they shut it down because they didn't even want people driving on that painted flag on the
Mhm.
street.
Yeah.
It's
There's
ridiculous.
Christian.
Hey, Christian, what's going on?
And that is great, Tracy. And don't you live in a mainly conservative town, Doc,
Or state in
Um,
or
general.
state in general?
Yeah.
Tennessee is a total red state. We've been a red state for many years. Tennessee has actually passed new laws this year that has really dug in, that has really sent a message to the rest of the nation that we're done with the shit.
Mhm.
The first bill, the first law that was passed, the governor has already signed it. This is already a law. This is in the making now.
Mhm.
Tennessee is going to be building 3 new asylums, insane asylums, and each of them are going to, each either one of them or each of them. I'm not sure, but I know that at least one of them is going to be here in East Tennessee,
Mhm.
and is going to have a ward for the criminally insane.
Hmm.
Um, and trust me, we're going to fill these asylums up pretty fast. I
Right.
can tell you that. The
I'm
second law
surprised.
that was passed was
Uh-huh.
we are bringing back Sparky. If you know what Sparky
Oh
is,
yeah. Yeah, you got old Sparky. Firing
yeah,
old Sparky back up, huh?
we're firing old Sparky right back up. That girl, she's had a break. Now it's time to come off break because it's too much shit's happened.
Mm.
The third and final one that we had passed is now here in the state of Tennessee. If you are a convicted uh, pedophile,
Mhm.
you can be sentenced to death. That is
Understandable.
right. You heard that. You heard that correctly. In
Mhm.
the state of Tennessee, if you are a convicted pedophile, you can be
Mhm.
sentenced to death.
Hmm.
And trust me, Tennesseans, we support that wholeheartedly. Line them up. Put an express lane in. Put them express lane. Don't put them on some waiting list to where they're there for 10, 20 years to where we got to spend $100,000 to keep them up.
A year.
Absolutely not. Put them
Yeah.
right straight to the front of the line and deal with them.
Mhm.
Mm. Yeah, and it's every move that I see Tennessee making is for the best interests of the people, because they already did something on the chemtrails.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what they've been making a lot of like
Oh, they
legislative
they
moves.
banned the lab food.
That's right.
in
They banned the
Tennessee.
We
the
did.
lab meat.
We
And
did. We banned
yeah,
it.
that's amazing to me. I'm such a fan of Tennessee right now. All y'all volunteers out there are leading the way, and I think that that's amazing to see. It's a great example for the rest of the states. I wish Nevada could get there sooner rather than later, but I know that well, it's kind of a blue state now that all of California moved out here, but with that being said, I believe that again, the states' rights. It's the state legislatures that have to be very much a part of this, and so being able to encourage our state legislators to pass those kinds of laws will have a great impact on everybody else around, all the other states around. And it's like I'm seeing the beginnings of taking our nation back through the proper means, actually through the same means that they stole it from us. They got voted in, and then they started changing everything. And so we need to get the right people voted in and get things changed back to some common sense and what the whole thing is really about. And I think that as the people wake up, it's more and more likely to happen. But I'm glad that Tennessee is leading that charge, because it's truly it's the example that the rest of the states need right now.
Mm-hmm.
Jan says, if we didn't have a bad selected governor and ditch Mitch here, we could do something. And
In Kentucky.
in Kentucky.
Mitch the bitch.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
that's
Mitch.
what we call him here in Tennessee, Mitch the bitch.
So we have Christian. I have a video. Christian's in the chat right now, Doc. He's actually Jenny's husband. And
The frog's Jenny.
yeah, the frog's Jenny. And here's a video he did on Kim Clement. Let's watch.
Okay.
If it came down to two people that may have ordered the assassination attempt on Donald J. Trump, would it be President Biden or Kamala Harris?
The Spirit of the Lord says there shall be one assassination attempt that shall endeavor to destroy the plans that I have for this nation. Look to your vice president. Look to your vice president. The Spirit of the Lord says tonight, there are major forces of darkness that have endeavored to bring to nothing this nation. But yet I will supply a very special weapon to this nation. And it shall have the ability to see activities of the enemies in a very peculiar manner. This night is a Saturday night. The Spirit of the Lord says, I require that my people stand in agreement with the prophet as he prophesies resurrection to America. Come on!
The real question is, did God grant President Trump foresight or the ability of time travel? Listen again.
A very special weapon to this nation. And it shall have the ability to see activities of the enemies in a very peculiar manner.
I'd hate to break it to you, but this is about bringing every one of God's children closer to him.
All right. What are your thoughts on that, Doc?
Well, I believe that Kim Clement really was actually a prophet. I do believe that Kim Clement was an actual real modern day prophet. You know, that God
Agreed.
touched that man, you know, that God used that man to warn us that this was coming. How else would he know about this? You know, we're talking almost like what, 20 years. We're talking almost 20 years
I
ago.
think that one was 2014. Yeah. Or 10
Yeah.
at least. Yeah.
2000, that one was 2004, the one he was just
Oh,
talking
that was
then.
04. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, that was 04. We are talking 20
20 years.
years ago. Okay, there is no way. There is absolutely no way on earth. I don't care what kind of medication you're taking. I don't care what environment you live in. There is absolutely no way. And did you notice? Did you notice? He also said it will be a Saturday.
Mhm.
When did this happen? When did it happen? It said it's Saturday night. When did all this happen?
Mhm.
Okay. Kim Clement got it down to the T.
Mhm.
Time, the day, the month, strange July. He said it would happen in strange July. Okay. God used that man to warn those of us who are listening, those of us who don't want our ears tickled, those who are listening to God. He warned us what was coming, to be steadfast, to prepare yourself for this. Everything that Kim Clement had prophesied is unfolding now. And I think the gentleman in that video, he made a very good point, because back to the prophet, he said, look to your vice president.
Mhm.
Look to your vice president. Kamala Harris, according to God's word, ordered that assassination attempt on President Trump.
There you go.
And who are we? Who are we to say that God's prophet is wrong? You're going to kick against the Almighty? You're going to kick against the priest, measured hundredweight and many pounds. Okay, no, no. You don't have that authority. Okay, so this is a spiritual battle. This is not a political battle. This has never happened in our country before, and it is our responsibility, not only as Christians, but as sound-minded adults, sound-minded human beings,
Mhm.
to put this country back, the way that it was. This identity politics,
Mm.
this woke nonsense, it's just not working. It's tearing us up.
It is tearing us up. So I'm still thinking a lot of that in terms of being able to see, short of there being a prophet that's actually talking to President Trump right now. I kind of get the feeling. Have you heard of Project Looking Glass?
I have heard of Project Looking Glass.
Okay.
I haven't looked. I haven't had the time to
Right.
look a
That's
lot into
yeah.
it.
You can only go down so many rabbit holes, and so exactly, Mike. Everything the government has ever told you is a lie. It certainly seems that way. Maybe. Here we go. Jenny says, "Kay, maybe we can plan for Christian to be on with Doc soon." Doc, if you'd love to do that, we'd love to have you and Christian on too. That'd be a great time.
Yeah.
Hey, really
Something-
cool.
We'll talk about it. Yeah, we'll talk about it. Basically, the basic premise of Project Looking Glass is that they have the ability to look into the future. And it's not too big of a stretch to get to that point with the technology and everything. And then you start looking at Barron Trump's marvelous adventure with the whole Ingersoll Lockwood stuff. I don't know if you've heard about that either, but that is all of this starts to come together, and it ties into what Kim Clement was talking about. But even without that, there definitely seems to be a divine aspect to what we're seeing, because there's so many things that are out of place, so many things that don't make sense. And then because I think it was actually your live when we first started talking, I think you had asked the question, it's been a while now. What do you think about what happened with the assassination attempt? Because there's been or was that on Rambo's show? I don't remember now.
don't know.
It all comes together.
I know it
But
does.
anyways, so it's like, now that you've had some time to process a lot of this information, I would actually like to know that about you in terms of what do you think happened out there in Bethel, Pennsylvania?
Butler.
Butler. That's it.
Well, I'll tell you this. From what I know, the Kimberly Cheadle, the former USSS director,
Mhm.
United States Secret Service director, she was warned. She had received a tip that somebody was planning to off Trump, or she had received a threat or a tip about a threat, and she totally ignored it.
Yep.
Folks, I work alongside law enforcement. Okay, when you receive something like that, you do not ignore. That is something you do not ignore. Yeah, it's true. A lot of that is just scare tactics. A lot of times it is.
I hope.
But, it's something that you don't ignore. However, second thing, that was Donald Trump's normal detail.
Mm.
Okay?
Correct.
That was not Donald Trump's normal detail. Okay? Who are all these women? And no offense, no offense, but who were all of these women that were 2 times shorter than him? How are you going to protect somebody that is 2 times taller than you? Headshot
Doc.
clearly in the range.
There you
I mean,
go, thinking again.
Hey, wait a minute, Doc. As a woman, I had an issue when she had to lift her stomach to try and get her gun.
she
Holster.
couldn't even
Holster.
holster a gun. And I'm like, is this a DEI hire or what? I mean, what is
Well,
this?
that's one of the important things of a protective detail is to, I mean, you're there to be a meat suit to get in between your protectee and the rest of the world. So if you're going to be half the size of your protectee, then how on earth are you supposed to protect that person? And then what we're seeing with all of this, like even today, I think this is probably going to segue into it. The Italian boxer that got that decided to bounce out of the boxing match because she was set up against a trans dude. And so
Yeah.
we understand this. We understand the principle that men and women are built differently, and
Totally.
that the fairer sex isn't designed to get out there and do that kind of physical warfare kind of thing. Can women do that? Yeah. Have I met women that scared the ever living crap out of me? You damn right. But that as a generality, it's like that's not what you're going to want to protect the president of the United States with, especially if it's a male. It's whatever. Yeah, I can get on that soapbox for all day.
Yeah, I'm going to play that.
Okay.
Christian, the little statement you mentioned yesterday about the hoe that's running for president. Santino has. We'll pop it up later so you guys can see it. He did a mock-up.
I did a mock-up. Yeah. Well, just so you know, Doc, Christian had come up with. He had said the dick taster for Kamala Harris. So I had to, kind of.
You want to pop that up real quick?
Yeah, I got to pull. I got to pull Photoshop up. Here we go. All right, yeah. Let me get to that. 1 second.
This is hilarious.
Oh Lord, my computer's being computery.
Well,
Stand by, please.
Stand by, please.
All right, here we go. Present, share screen, window. There we go. All right. The dick taster.
Oh God. Oh God.
I don't know.
Man.
It has no class, but it's pretty funny.
Yeah. Well, speaking, of Kamala, here's the thing. You know, how do you go from being an Indian to a black woman? I'm
Hmm.
just waiting on her to come out and say that she's now transgender because she's trying to get the transgender vote.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. Something. But we got Big Mike for that. So
Can you put that in Telegram later, please?
share that to Telegram. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can do that. I'll share
Okay,
that.
let's watch this real quick.
All right, here we go. Hey, Puggies.
Here we have the most recent consequence of collective insanity. Women's boxing has men beating up women. Feminists and modern gender theorists will cheer and clap like a bunch of trained seals as this young woman's dreams are crushed before their very eyes so that this man can live out his delusion and pretend to be a woman so that he can punch young women in the face. Imagine that your daughter devoted her entire life to a sport. She gets all the way to the Olympics, and then she has to compete against this dude. By the way, Kamala Harris and pretty much the entirety of the Democrat Party supports this and tells you that you're a bad person if you don't want more of this to happen.
Okay, so thoughts on women being beat by men
That's what it is.
in the Olympics. Now, domestic violence is a
Crime.
sport.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's a sport in the Olympics.
That's a good way to put it.
I mean,
That's a really good way to
domestic
put it.
violence on parade, basically.
Mhm.
It's just sick. It's sick. It's just sickening. Yeah, I mean, and look, folks. Here's the deal. Okay, it don't matter how much surgery you have. It don't matter how many blockers you take. You could be decked out. Okay, you could be decked out with the rack and everything. Okay, but here's the thing. In about 200 years, when all of us are dead and gone, and they have to, for whatever reason, maybe they're going to build a subdivision on top of the graveyard you're buried in. Okay, and they got to dig you up. And they say, well, which one's that one? Well, that one's a man. See, he's got a small pelvic, and he's got one less rib than this one over here. So it don't matter what you do. It don't matter how much surgery. Like I said, you could be all decked out. But when it's all said and done, when you're gone from this world, and they dig you up, you're still going to be referred to the gender you were born with.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. I agree 100%. It's you can put them on all of these medications, and but the problem is that the structure, the body structure, the musculature structure, all of that comes together, and it doesn't go away. It's not going to change. I mean, you saw him holding up his hand. Dude had some, nice pectoral muscles, that the women don't have. Even in the Marine Corps, there is a difference between the men will do pull-ups, women will do a flexed arm hang. In which case the men try the flexed arm hang and they generally fail miserably because we are not designed the same way women are. That's why the Marine Corps is able to recognize a difference between the men and the women. There are some hard charging women in the Marine Corps and they do want to do pull-ups, but their body structure isn't set up that way. So I know that that's been kind of a debate, but the thing is we can't get past biology. Biology will not change.
I know.
I mean, you're absolutely right. Biology is not something that changes. You can't get past that. Like I said, you could be all decked out, have it all. But at the end of the day, you still got that muscular structure. You've still got that skeletal structure, and have you seen these people? They look disgusting. I mean, they just look awful. Who in the world is attracted to that? You know, I mean, what kind of drugs
Barry.
does it take to
Barry.
enjoy?
Barry and Big Mike.
Big Mike.
Big Mike. But you know, it's just sick. And here's the thing: for years, for many generations, we took people that had these mental problems, and we separated them from the rest of society. Okay, what happened is that we had a small group of people with very loud voices who pushed through, who said, no, it's not you, it's everybody else. No, you don't
else,
have a mental
agreed.
problem, it's everybody else. And then that began the crumble of our society.
Right.
These very same minority, small group of people with very loud voices pushed through and created a system where the victim is punished and the criminal is rewarded. You know, there was a time where people like this, society couldn't take a chance on them because they're nuts. They're nuts. I'm sorry. I hate to put it that way, but it's the only way to get through. You know, these people are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
They are.
They are.
They are.
Mamaw said reopen Waverly Hills. The funny thing that hit me is you said that somebody started telling these people that it's the rest of the world that needs to get over it. The problem is apparently most of the rest of the world started to agree with that. You know,
I know, and
concept.
I'm like, wait a minute here. You know, me, Santino, and Kay are not crazy. We don't have to go along with
I'm
that.
crazy.
You know,
Yeah, I'm crazy. The government had me tested. They told me but it's okay.
Stop it.
So it's an interesting concept. I know the real reason why it stopped, because there was a Great Truth campaign that came out that doctors were doing some pretty heinous stuff. Surprise, surprise, the Fauci kind of doctors were at those facilities when they were doing the electroshock therapy.
Right.
I mean, obviously not Fauci, or at least I don't think so. But regardless, separating him, based off of his whole Beagle thing that he has going on. That one really upsets me. But they were abusing the patients, and the patients don't deserve that either. And so when the patients were getting abused, that's what made it easy to convince people to shut these things down. They did need a much more humane treatment, but at the same time, we don't need them running the country, I think is the lesson we're learning out of this. Denise says, what could be wrong with giving everyone a freaking trophy? Ta-da, here we are. Yeah.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right.
And I'm so tired of these pronouns.
You and me both.
I'm so tired of it. My pronouns are thee, she, and it. The shit. Thank you.
See, the shit. My pronouns are FAFO. My pronouns are FAFO. FAFO. Fuck around, find out.
I have pronouns that you can't pronounce. They're a symbol that you can't pronounce.
There you go.
Exactly.
There you go.
How about if we listen to Kelly for a minute?
Yeah, we could use some Kelly.
We could use some Kelly.
Can I show you something in the Bible today that's bothered me for a long time? I mean, have you ever thought about this? I'm talking about Exodus 3:14, which says, God replied to Moses, I am who I am. Say this to the people of Israel. I am has sent me to you. Have you ever thought about that? Here we see God telling Moses he's going to use him to set the Israelites free. And Moses is arguing with God because he doesn't feel qualified. Does that feel familiar? He keeps going back and forth with God. I'm not a good speaker. What if they don't believe me? Who even should I tell them sent me? And this has bothered me for a long time. God is about to tell Moses his name here. And he says, I am. Okay. Out of all the names that God could have said, out of all the names that show power, Lord, King, Majesty. No. God goes with I am. Why? You see, Moses is asking, what should I tell the people your name is? But when God answers, he's not concerned with what Pharaoh or the Israelites think. He's answering in response to Moses. Oh, don't miss this. How many times do we tell God, I'm not good enough? I'm not smart enough. I don't know enough. I'm not the right color. I'm not the right gender. I'm not the right height. I'm not the right weight. I'm not qualified. Have you ever said any of those? I know I have. We have a million excuses of why we can't do what God is asking us to do. And that is exactly where we find Moses, right here. God gave him a call on his life, just like he gave you. And Moses is trying to back out of it because he doesn't feel qualified. Essentially telling God, I'm not good enough. And right here, God tells him his name. Moses, you may not be good enough, but I am. Yeah, Moses, you may not be strong enough, but I am. Moses, you may not be qualified at all, bro, but I am. Oh, son, this is hands down the greatest name that God could ever give us. Because the truth is, we are never going to be good enough, but he always is. Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthened me. Let that encourage you today. That call that God spoke onto your life that feels so big and impossible to achieve, you're right in thinking you can't do it. But the good news is, he can. You may not be fill in the blank, but God is looking at you right now and he says, yeah, you may not be, but I am. So let me encourage you today. Go live out the calling God spoke into you. Yeah, it may be too big for you, but you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. You see, there's no more excuses because of what you're not, because he is. And think about that for a minute.
All righty. So,
Wow.
yeah. Kelly's one of those guys
Kelly's
that is
amazing.
like, he'll blow your mind. Very much so. And I think that's what people forget is when Jesus came down here, he didn't go and just hang out with the Pharisees and the Sadducees. You know, he had a tax collector. He, hung out with a hooker. Every bad,
All the sinners.
all the sinners. And then when they said something, he said, a healthy person doesn't go to the doctor.
That's right.
So when you are called to do something, you do it because God is putting you there. And we feel like we were called to do this. And when we first felt this call, we had every excuse in the book. Every excuse in the book. Well, we don't know what we're doing. How do you even get an audience? What do you do? I mean, we put this on. We had the equipment for.
No.
Yes.
We started.
No, don't do that because I'll go get the receipts. I got receipts. He got the first part of the equipment in March. He did not do a first show until October.
Oh, that's right, because we were moving.
Not just that.
Well, that had a part to play.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You have to.
There was some nerves.
There
involved.
were nerves.
Yeah. Well,
but when you're called to do something, God makes it happen. It was my point. So, thoughts on Kelly? Go ahead, Doc.
Yeah, go ahead, Doc. You first.
He's absolutely right. I am is the greatest name that God ever gave us. I am that I am. You may not be good enough. I am. You may not be tall enough. I am. And I am working through you. And that's I believe that's the message that the director is, Kelly, the director is trying to get across to us, is that when God speaks to you, when God uses you, God's basically using you as a vessel. He's using you as a vessel to connect with the rest of the world. And you say, well, I'm not tall enough, I'm not, masculine enough, I'm not strong enough, or for a woman, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not attractive enough, it could go either way for, either,
society thing.
Yeah. But, you know, but God is.
Mhm.
God is, you know, strong enough. God is, you know, able to do that through you. And, you know, look what he said to Moses. I will give you the words to say. I will work through you. And every time God intervened, God told Moses every move to make.
Mhm.
Now, was that Moses's magic or power? No,
No.
that was God working through Moses, displaying the power and the might of Christ to the world. That God has authority and the power to show you who God really is. And it is not a Pharaoh.
Mm-mm.
Go beautifully stated. And I think that there's the other side of that, and a lot of people feel that these people had power, but that's kind of the point. Is it's not our power. It is God's. It's on loan from Him. We
Yep.
have nothing without Him, and we are nothing without Him. And I think that that's one of the big things that we in our paths towards God, the path that we follow, that straight and narrow path, it is a losing of the self and the me, and that it is about Him, the real I am. And it's that connection that most everybody seeks. It's that God-sized hole that everybody's missing. And so, yeah, really like the things that Kelly's saying, because God does show His might through everybody that He chooses. And even going back to what you were saying earlier about President Trump, in terms of all of these people were attacking him. And I will say a lot of those were some pretty weak attacks, because I can tell you the one thing that they caught him on tape, grab him by the kitty cat kind of thing. It's like, have you never heard men talk before?
Right.
Maybe. Yeah, it's like, so if that's the best you could get on this guy, then he's pretty tame individual. As a matter of fact, that sounds like somebody who's uncomfortable talking like that, trying to sound like one of the guys, is exactly what I was saying back then when they were trying to make it sound like, he was a misogynist or whatever. But despite all of their attempts, he somehow ended up on top of all of it. Absolutely everything. Tracy says, God placed all of us in this life with the three of you for a reason also. Oh, thank you, Tracy. That's a truly beautiful thing to say. I appreciate that. And you're in our lives, as all of y'all are in our lives as well. We say this a lot, y'all make us excited to do this as well. So yeah, we appreciate all of you, because it is a thing where we are all citizens, and citizens are all equals, and equals recognize that no one person is better than another. But that's the reason why the founding principles of this nation were based on God and the God of the Bible, because everybody said, I am less than the greatest one. Therefore, we are all created by Him. Therefore, we are all equal. Therefore, no one person is better than another. And the truly humble thing that President Washington said is call me Mr. President, to bring himself down with the rest of the people, to prevent the office of the presidency from becoming this high and lofty kind of position that, Sniffer Joe and what are we calling her now? The dictator.
Yeah. Heels
Dick
up.
Tyson.
Heels
Dick
up,
Tyson.
heroes.
Oh, geez. So it's again, this revival, it's bringing people back to the reality that there are men and there are women, and there's nothing in between, except for maybe some extremely rare genetic anomaly, in which
Oh,
case that's its
very
own thing.
rare.
Yeah, this is so rare.
Super rare.
So outside of that, it's all clear cut and simple.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Very simple.
So, unfortunately, we do have to get into Kamala and her dumbass.
Mhm.
But first, before we do that, this is what a real person who cares about America does. Okay.
All
You
right.
ready? This is JD Vance.
All right, here we go. He's at the southern border. What?
But praying to God, please, that his mom took something that she shouldn't have taken, but praying to God, please, Jesus, let her wake up. And the unfortunate truth is because of the poison that Kamala Harris has let come into this country, there are a lot of those prayers that won't be answered. There are a lot of parents that won't wake up because when you take fentanyl, you don't wake up. It takes your life. So there are a lot of kids out there who have been deprived of second chances with their moms and dads. There are a lot of moms and dads out there who will never see their kids walk down the aisle because of what Kamala Harris has unleashed at this border. The human toll of this is the thing that we cannot forget. We have got kids who can't learn in schools because their kids have been overwhelmed with migrant children who shouldn't be there. We've got hospitals where the wait times have exploded because illegal aliens are standing in front of the line of American citizens. The media needs to tell the truth, and Kamala Harris needs to change course on this crazy border mess, or the people who suffer the most are the people who can least afford to suffer. Now, I've heard so many stories just in the last half hour of how these guys have failed the American people and especially failed our children. But I want to introduce some of the people who are fighting this day in and day out. And some of them, I'm sure, can tell you some stories. And it's just unbelievable. It is unbelievable what we're letting happen at this southern border. And we're letting it happen because Kamala Harris refuses to do her job. What President Trump and I promise to the American people is very simple. This is not rocket science. It is not hard to secure the southern border. You just have to re-implement some common sense policies. You've got to re-implement Remain in Mexico. You've got to stop catch and release. You've got to force the asylum seekers to stay in Mexico while their claims are being adjudicated. And you've got to finish this border wall and re-implement deportations. If people can come into this country and they know they're never going to be deported, you effectively have an open border. That's what Kamala Harris promised. That's what Kamala Harris did. And Donald Trump and I promised to do exactly the opposite. So first, of course, we saw great Sheriff of Cochise County, Bob Watkins. Thank you for doing what you do, and thanks for answering some of my questions. I want to introduce John Ladd, who is a fourth-generation rancher, who's told me things today. It's just hard to believe. You have people coming into his ranch, chasing his cattle, stealing his equipment, destroying his property, and his own government refuses to stop it. John, I'm sorry. As a United States Senator, I am ashamed at what this Harris administration has done, and I promise it's going to get better in about 6 months. Thank you, John. I want to talk about Paul Perez, who is at the front line of pushing back against this crazy border policy. If you think about it, have we ever had an American border policy that is so at odds with the people who are actually doing it? You talk to these Border Patrol agents, and they are enraged that the Harris administration won't let them do their job. They just want to keep people safe. They need a president who lets them do that. So, Paul, if you want to say a few words, I think the media would love to hear from you.
So under President Trump, we had a secure border. We have the ability, the knowledge, and the will to secure this border. All we need is somebody like President Trump and Senator Vance to come in and let us do our job. We can secure this border. President Trump showed the American people that he can secure the border. All Border Czar Harris has shown is that they can create chaos on this border. Our communities are suffering. People are overdosing from fentanyl. This can be stopped. There is a playbook. President Trump had it, and he still has it. They can make it happen.
Great. Paul, thank you. And thanks, Brandon, for being here. Here are Brandon. Thanks so much. You guys are doing incredible work, despite the fact you don't have the support of an administration. I'm going to close here in a second, but I want to just point out that when the media lies about Kamala Harris being the border czar, here is what you're lying about. You cannot have an effective border policy unless you have somebody who is coordinating all the different agencies of the U.S. federal government. You need the State Department involved to send people back to their home countries. You need the Department of Justice involved to prosecute these terrible drug crimes. And of course, you need DHS involved so that the Border Patrol is empowered to do their job. Kamala Harris, as border czar, was asked to coordinate all these functions of government, and she's done nothing. Every time I ask these guys, and I even asked, Brandon, Paul, let's play devil's advocate here. Tell me, has Kamala Harris done anything you've asked her to do? She is the border czar. Has your border czar done anything you've asked her to do? And the answer is no. They send letters, they make phone calls, they are begging the American president and vice president for leadership, and their own border czar ignores them. That is a scandal. That is a disgrace. And to every American watching this, it will stop, but only if you elect Donald J. Trump president in just a few months. God bless you guys. Thank you for being here.
Okay, so I apologize for keep going off the camera, guys. I love each and every one of you. I have a severe migraine. I have a pain shooting from the front of my head all the way to the back. I love you guys.
Oh, no.
Please just bear with me. Just bear with me. So
You're a
thoughts
trooper.
about this other than you think it's a green screen? I mean, at least Trump and the people he surrounds himself with cares about America. That hoe has never been down there.
Well
She's a
said.
fucking bitch who lies. I've never been to Europe either. Bitch, we're not talking about fucking Europe. We're talking
Right.
about our country and people coming in it illegally.
Right. That is right. And
Go ahead, Doc. Thoughts?
hey, yeah, well said.
love
Don't
my
you
redhead.
said the S word. You don't say the S word.
There
We,
you
we,
go.
we,
True.
we never ever say the S word because, damn it, I'm not sorry for being a patriot and never.
There we go. Yep.
Never. I will never, ever stand it. They could have me up here at the gallows.
Hmm.
And my last words would be MAGA, bitch. That would be my last words. You hang me, that's going to be my last words. MAGA. Make America great again. And, and a lot of people say, well, because, I do have a lot of, I do have classic Democrat friends and, fans.
Mhm.
Now, much respect to, classical Democrats. And for those of you in the audience that do not know what a classical Democrat is, okay, a classical Democrat are the Democrats that you and I remember growing up that say, well, I don't agree with what you're saying, but I will fight for your right to say it, And but most classical Democrats and classical Republicans, we generally want the same things. We just bicker about ways of going about it. Okay, that's all that is. Okay, now these like I said, these people on the left, they hate our country. They're bitter with it. But the thing is that Vance is right. He's 100% right. And, even though, Kay, we love you. Kay, you're absolutely right. That, that hoe, Kamala, she's
Mm-hmm.
she's the hyena. She's a hyena.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I turn her on, she's laughing. Like, what are you laughing about? Like, what?
And what is that statement she keeps saying over and over again?
Oh God. It's what can be, what can is unburdened
Yeah, that.
can be unburdened by what has been. What does that mean? What is that? Who is being burdened? Us? Yeah, we're being burdened. You know how we can be unburdened? You get the hell out of here. That's how we could be unburdened. I mean, I'm just saying how it is, folks. I'm sorry. But,
Don't say sorry. They'll get you.
Yeah, no, I said it. I said it. And here
Never
I was
say
just
never.
preaching about
Yeah.
not saying it. I said it.
Yeah, unburdened by what has been. Yeah.
That.
Yeah. Unburdened by what has been. Her being in office. That's what we're burdened by.
Her bending in office, is that what you said?
Yes, that's right. Her
Yes.
bending in office. You know, it used to be called the Oval Office, but now it's called the Oriental Office.
Well, I mean, it's an oval shape now, isn't it? You
Oh
know.
yeah, she knows all about that. She has that face. She has that look on her face at least 6 times a day.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, it's tough getting to the top on your knees.
What, exactly. I mean, just look at her track record, though. I mean, let's really crack this open, okay? This woman
Uh-huh.
has
And we're using that
absolutely.
term loosely.
Well,
Oh yeah, using that term very loosely. This hoe has, and I use that strongly.
Yes.
This hoe has abused her way through power from when she was a lowly prosecutor, and when when she was I guess attorney general, you know what she would have the interns do? They call her general. Call her like she's some type of military figure, and it's just like how totalitarian can you be?
Have you seen
Yeah.
her salute?
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Oh,
You
no.
haven't seen her salute, have you?
No, I don't
Can you
want.
pull that up?
No.
Yes,
Oh,
I
no.
want
No.
you to see it.
Oh, don't ask for that.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Whatever.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, I'm getting this one.
I haven't seen it. The way she salutes the troops.
When she's getting on Air Force One.
Oh God.
It's terrible.
Well, it'd be Air
Oh,
Force 2 right now.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Air
she
Force
never gets
2.
on Air Force 1.
Let's hope she never gets on that one.
Yeah. Even though, her and Joe rode in the same plane, which is against all Secret Service protocol. All of them,
Yeah.
which is an oddity. But that's one more of those things that points to the fact that, how much of this is a movie that we're watching. Like Jan was talking about, 4th Psychological Operations Group, 4th POG, they write all of her speeches. So
What? They do?
So the Q conspiracy, it definitely points in that direction. That because if you think about it, like the Babylon Bee had put up a thing where they got like a 5th grader that writes her speeches, and actually I think it was a 1st grader writes her speeches, and that doesn't seem to be too far off from the truth based off of her, today is yesterday's tomorrow, and tomorrow is the day after tomorrow's yesterday. And it's like, who really writes this crap? And then the whole thing with the Venn diagrams. And it does.
I really love Venn diagrams.
Yeah, her and her Venn diagrams. It's just like it sounds too ridiculous for anybody to have actually made their way to that point in American politics, that they are the best president of the United States, and they can't even speak off of the cuff well, like not even well, not even okay, not even like that was terrible. It's so much worse than that was terrible. And so it's so ridiculous. It feeds the concept that we are watching a movie, that Q was correct, and that there is an operation going on in the background, which would be Force Psychological Operations Group.
I found it. I'm not even going to make you watch the whole video. Are you ready?
I can only handle so much Kamala in a day.
Oh, we have more. Just hold
Oh.
on.
Just look at her.
Go back to just before.
What?
Hold on.
It's not
Was that a Sieg Heil?
actually wasn't.
Because I know
Somebody
in
taught her
India,
that.
It's terrible.
Somebody
In
she spent some
India,
time with
they
them.
salute like this. You know,
With
they kind of
hand
put
up. Yeah.
with their hand up. In India,
Oh.
they do that.
Huh.
Okay,
That's
is that what she just did? Did she
No,
just
I don't
give?
think so. Can you get it on a freeze frame where just
No,
the bank
I
account you
can't.
can't hit like the left arrow?
No, not on TikTok.
Darn it. All right. Oh yeah, see, it's not going to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a pain in the ass. All right.
That's just crazy. That's totally disrespectful to our troops. I mean, it really is. She should give a full formal salute to our
That's
troops.
not, I mean, she just.
A little bit. One more.
I'm trying.
A couple more. Frame by frame. It's pretty snap up.
But she
it hits the
touches her-
eyebrow. You're supposed
No,
to, if you
she-
don't have a hat, you're supposed to touch your eyebrow.
She hit her
Hat
eye.
cover. Well, I mean, everybody makes mistakes. I don't know.
Anyway, and that was actually, there's more out there that are worse.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
But so I know everyone knows Harry here.
Oh God.
This kid.
Oh, I've got
But
into some
wait.
battles with him before,
Yeah.
and
here
I
we go.
won.
Yeah. Yeah, Jenny,
Congratulations,
this was
Doc.
like back in 2020. There's more of her saluting. She's gotten worse. So
Okay. All right.
here, I want you guys to
Oh God,
watch
Denise, why don't you
this.
go find that?
You see this kid right here? This kid's name is Harry Sisson, right? You see this kid right here? This kid's name is Parker, right? This kid right here? This kid's name is Chris Mowry. You see this guy right here? This guy's name is Dash, and I can only imagine what's on this man's hard drive. Oh, and of course, Mr. Aaron Parnaz. That's a good one. You see this guy right here? His name's Hawk, aka Jeff. And I'm sure we all know who V from Under the Desk News is, right? Now, why am I showing you all of these creators, one might ask? Well, because like I put on the screen just a second ago that you saw, they all have a lot of similarities. And a lot of these creators that you just so happen to follow on this app are literally paid to post biased content. And you know, it's crazy. I've already done a video on V from Under the Desk News and Alex Perlman. I show people thousands of transactions from Palat Management, literally paying them. And if you just so happen to look at Democratic expenditures during 2022, when these influencers just so happen to go to the White House, you can find that on Open Secrets, by the way. You'll notice that those expenditures just so happen to be sent out right after they were invited to go to the White House. And if that's not enough for you, you can actually find every single one of their LinkedIn profiles. And then you can see for yourself that they just so happen to be under Palat Management, as if their content didn't already make it obvious. But people, if you want a real opinion, right, do not rely on these individuals to be able to give you that. And I'm just being real with you. I'm always going to keep it completely unbiased with you, regardless of my relationship with my grandfather, regardless of whatever rumor you want to hear. And that's pretty evident if you were to go look at my content. And before this upcoming election, I just want people to really think outside the box, right? I don't want people basing their opinion like they always have off of somebody else's opinion. I want you to think for yourself. Think what's actually best and more beneficial for this country. And do I personally have a political stance? Fuck no, because I know how politics really work. But do I want people to think for themselves? Obviously, yeah. And you probably shouldn't be trusting people like this to be able to give you a valid opinion. Once again, somebody needs to look into his search history. Ugh. But I'm always going to keep it real with you, okay? And I'm always going to try to open your eyes. That's my only goal with this profile. And for the month of August, I really hope that I'll be able to do just that, because I have no violations here on TikTok anymore. So you best believe I'm coming in hot, as I did a couple months ago before I just so happened to be targeted on TikTok and be temporarily banned because I said no to go to the White House. Yeah, what ironic timing, right? But do what you will with this information. All their transactions are available online. You can see for yourself. And now all you're left to do is form your own opinion on whether or not these people actually post biased content, which once again should be obvious.
Thoughts?
I'll tell you that one dude definitely gives off some strange vibes.
Creeper vibes?
Yeah. Yeah, those.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Doc. Yeah. Yeah, that's how I feel.
I mean, you basically said it how. I mean, that one guy, I mean, I wouldn't trust him with a damn potato gun, much less a potato miser. Good God. And have you seen these people? Some of these people are the most horrible looking individuals. These people are some of the most miserable individuals that they're finding. And this is exactly the message that I am trying to get across to people. Is that most of the shit that you hear in the media, these suckers were paid to say it. It's not true. It's poppycock nonsense. It's propaganda is what it is, folks. Listen, propaganda is when you make up something about somebody and then you mainstream that. That's propaganda. That's called a smear, is what you're doing. And propaganda is always meant to damage somebody's image and to destroy their career. That's it. And this is exactly the message. And I'll tell you right now that Harry Sisson, me and him has had some blows on TikTok. I mean, you want to talk about Battle of the Titans, okay? I mean, we've had some blows for blows, and I tell you, I've shot him down every time. Shot him, right out of the sky, because it's just propaganda that he puts out. And once you disarm him and you shoot down that propaganda, then he refers to name calling and personal insults. And when they do that, it's pretty much over. It's pretty much over. That's when you know you've won.
Yeah. The Christian says, what's the difference between propaganda in the United States versus China? The Chinese people know it's propaganda.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah. Sad but true.
I know.
Sad but true.
And okay, if I had to see this picture, y'all have to see this picture.
Oh no!
Hold on, Tracy asked a question here. There you go. Do you know Lumberjack?
Do I know Lumberjack? TikTok Lumberjack?
I think that's who she's talking about.
That's what I'm going with at this point.
Yeah, I know TikTok Lumberjack. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so picture of Kamala. I had to see it. You got to see it.
Oh no.
Oh man. Oh. Oh.
For judges, politicians, and various powerful businessmen. Oh, okay. Staffers in San Francisco are coming forward stating that Kamala Harris was an escort for judges, politicians, and various powerful businessmen to sway court cases and help push leftist policies in the state. Democrats are trying to bury these allegations. Well, they're going to have to get rid of a lot of people because she had a 90% turnover again? 92% turnover. Yeah. That's a lot of people she's pissed off that know the secrets in the back of what Kamala's been doing. Yeah, that you're going to have to Arkansas a lot of people on that one. Although I don't know where Hillary's at, and I don't think Hillary too much cares for Kamala. Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't sleep with Bill Clinton's. Yeah.
That's a sight that I'm really going to have to bang out of my head later.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't appreciate that at all.
Hey, I had to see it. You had to see it.
I'm with Kay on that one. If I got to see it, you guys got to see it, okay? I mean, I was tortured. You might as well be, you know?
Yeah.
Lumberjack took on Harry.
He did? He took on Harry. All right. Boy, I got to see that one. I bet Lumberjack tore him up. Oh, God. Oh, man.
Thank you.
Again, I love you all, but if I got to see it, you got to see it. That's how this works.
That's right. Hey, if I got to be tortured, you might as well be. I mean, you know, hey,
we already know this world is coming to an end. I don't know why it has to be miserable on the way out.
Well, here, hold on. We got Judge Joe Brown again. Okay, ready?
Yeah, he'll tear her up. Yep.
And then she was everybody's favorite Hindu Indian prosecutor and attorney general and senator, and now she becomes black. But, you know, I met her daddy, fine gentleman, Professor Harris. And the problem with her being black is Professor Harris says he's Caucasian, mixed Irish and Hindu. He doesn't have any black ancestors, but his Irish ancestors owned a lot of slaves in Jamaica and had them to work on plantation. So if mama is on the birth certificate listed as a Caucasian, daddy says he's a Caucasian Hindu and has no black ancestors, how did she get to be black? And by the way, she told one big lie when she was talking about she got bust because of something Biden did when she was running against him. Well, the yearbook that she put out there that you can still get online from her high school in Canada shows she went from kindergarten through 12th grade in Canada, never went to school in the United States of America. She was born, by the way, in the same hospital that my ex-wife was born in, the same 12-month period, and my late mother-in-law was in fact a pediatric nurse in that hospital when Kamala was born. And the birth certificate that she has is interesting because the confusion comes from a mistake. On the birth certificate, it lists the mother's race as Caucasian, national origin into India, and religion Hindu. For the father, it does not list national origin. It does not list religion. It does not list anything about that, but where it says race, they put national origin in Jamaica by mistake.
Thoughts, Doc?
Wow. This guy's really dropping some, 1,000-pound truth bombs here.
Yes, he
I mean,
is.
this guy is dropping some bunker busters.
Mhm.
Okay. I mean, this guy just dropped a flat out Moab. He just dropped a Moab on Kamala.
Mhm.
There it is. There you have it. I mean, the left runs on propaganda. That's all they run on. And I respect Judge Joe Brown more now than ever. You know, I've always loved, Joe Brown.
No nonsense.
Exactly. Last time I had I think there was a video long time ago. Somebody had asked me about him, and I was like, I love Judge Joe Brown. He's a realist. He's a realist. He's a no bullshit kind of guy, and I'm glad that he sticks to his guns and came out and said this, because most people would have been too scared. I'll tell you that, because most people would have been scared that they'd get him.
Mamaw shares Donald Jasper Harris, OM. What's OM?
I don't know. Hose Daddy. I don't know.
Okay.
That's
Anyways,
Daddy.
born August 23rd, 1938, is a Jamaican American economist and professor emeritus at Stanford University.
And it makes you wonder, these people like Kamala, they had wonderful parents. What the hell happened? What the hell happened to these people?
Stanford.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I hate to be like that, but I mean, it is an indoctrination system. It's not so much education anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's
Hi,
education.
Carol.
Hey, Carol. I know that there's education that goes on and people do get smart there, but there's a lot of people that get less smart by the time they get out of there.
I do
That's
have a
true.
master's.
Yeah,
I do have a master's degree
Yeah.
in accounting.
I'm not denying the
However,
institution as a whole.
I got it a long time ago. You have to
It was very
remember,
different.
I had already graduated with my master's in 1993 because I went straight from high school right into college. So college was way different back then. Plus, I went to college at in a very Republican state. So, but I know everyone keeps saying, she's black, she's black, she's black. She never said she was Indian. Really? I have proof. I
Hmm.
brought receipts.
Okay, so what we're gonna cook today, is an Indian recipe.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
you are
Yes,
Indian.
yes.
Okay, and I
Okay.
don't know that everybody knows that, but I find that wherever I go and I see Indian people at the supermarket, on the street, everyone's like, you know, Kamala Harris is Indian, right? It's like our thing we're so excited about to have you running for president.
Yeah.
So we're both Indian,
Yes.
but actually we're both South Indian.
Yes. You look like the entire one half of my family.
Okay, thank you.
You do.
I've been telling people
You
we're
do.
related already,
Yeah.
so this is perfect. It's basically true. And so were you raised eating South Indian food?
South Indian food.
Y'all, Kamala, you done sat up here. You done sat up here and told us you were black. But here you are talking about you were raised as Indian. So and then you lied and said you used to wash your collard greens in the bathtub. Girl, you just told this woman you grew up off of Indian food. So I doubt your Indian family taught you how to wash collard greens in the bathtub. Y'all, listen, I don't care who you vote for. I don't care who you support. Don't let this woman play in your face talking about she black when we clearly got the evidence that she ain't black. She even said it. She said she Indian. She was raised as South Asian in Indian. But you black too? Why come you didn't correct her and say you are Indian and black? You ran as an Indian senator. Why you didn't run as a black and Indian senator?
I love Terrence. Terrence is something else. I love Terrence. He's something else. I love him. That was funny.
Terrence is he's a great in terms of putting the truth out there in the way that Terrence can, and he's not afraid, obviously, to get involved with the whole race issue. And that's kind of one of the problems that we have going on right now, is that there's a race issue where it shouldn't even be getting discussed. While we're busy discussing her race and whether or not her South Indian heritage has anything to do with her ability to do good in this country and in this nation, it really has no bearing whatsoever, unless you're planning on bringing policies over from South India, in which case, well, can we at least get a policy from you to begin with? That would be like a good start, if you ask me. So this is more and more of that distraction. This is more and more of that problem that we've been running with, because people are getting stuck on this whole race issue, but they're the ones making it an issue. Nobody has a care or concern what her race is. What we care about is what is her policy ideas. 2, what has she done? Probably not in this order. And then 3, how well did that work out for the general populace of this nation or California? And based off of her track record, I'm going to say it's absolutely sucked. Whereas, President Trump, we have his track record. We know it's good, but for some reason, we're talking about race. But maybe that's because that's all they have.
It is all they have. Identity politics is never good.
It works though, somehow.
And here, watch this. You guys get a kick out of this one. Oh, I apologize.
Serious question. Why do liberals keep saying that they're voting for Kamala Harris for her policies and not her race or gender? We now have 95 days until Election Day, and I wanted to do some research on her policies. And this is what I found on her website.
Nothing.
Nothing there. There's no policy there.
Yeah,
What
other than to
policy?
donate the donation policy, I
And a
think,
store.
and a store, the merch.
Comparing that to Trump's website, which is filled with information.
Right. Agenda 47 platform.
Just all of it, everything. It's all policy platform.
Yeah. Agenda 47. I totally agree with Agenda 47.
Pages of documents and policies in his platform. And then they continue to say that we're the ones in a cult when we know our candidate's policies, we know what he stands for, and y'all do not know a single policy. She started running and y'all just hopped on board. Didn't find out anything about her platform, what she stands for, what she plans to do. Make it make sense.
So, thoughts about her lovely website?
Go ahead, Doc.
You really want me to go?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's why you're here, is we want to hear what you have to say.
It's bullshit. It's bullshit. That's what it is. Policies? What policies? What in the... Folks, look, is this woman a blithering idiot, or is she just a hardcore Marxist? Okay, because here you have this woman. She's going on about yellow school buses being so grand. The passage of time, what has been, can be unburdened by what was, and here we have, let's be real, here we have an economic crisis that is barreling at our nation. The biggest border crisis this country has ever seen. And this woman is talking about yellow school buses. This woman is talking about these stupid quotes that is helping no one. You go on her website, there's no policies. I mean, you can donate to her campaign. Oh, yeah, great. You can donate. But what are you donating to? What policies are you voting for? Okay, look at gas prices, look at grocery prices, look at energy prices. And my wife and I, we live in a house that is gas powered. In wintertime, we're slaughtered when it comes to the utility bills. It's like I have an auctioneer at my thermostat, 125, 225, 55, sold. I mean, hey, but that's my thoughts on it. It's poppycock bullshit.
We get but we get nice platitudes like the wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round. Thank you.
That's right.
And round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Round and round.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm having a little my light kind of phased out on me. Sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah, we're almost done, but I do want to. I know we talked about the Olympics a little earlier,
Mm-hmm.
and this is very important, and I need both of you guys to hear this. I agree, Tracy. It was an amazing auctioneer voice.
It's pretty good, yeah. Always some money in that direction for you, Doc.
Exactly. Although he hasn't said what I've hoped he would say yet, so we're running out of time. Anyway, you ready?
Yeah.
Hope everybody's enjoying the Olympics. By the way, you're cheering for a pedophile. I said it. There is a convicted, not even like, oh, he could have done it. No, like he's convicted. He flew out, diddled the 12-year-old. Once he was done, he flew back home. And now he's competing in the fucking Olympics. Nobody says anything. He doesn't have a giant thing above his name that says, by the way, this is a fucking chomo. No, there's nothing. They just let it slide. They said, and I think it's the Dutch that are like insisting, well, just because he openly admitted and he's convicted of it, that he's not actually a child predator. Go fuck all of yourself. Find a corner and just see how long you can hold your breath underwater. That's all I'm saying. Like, are you serious right now?
Thoughts, Doc?
Well, first of all, the Olympics this year has made history. They went from being one of the most popular sports of modern time to a throwback classic of Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, and if I was that woman on there, I'd be like, you know what? I'll be a Huckleberry. I'll be a Huckleberry. Let's get this on. I'm gonna throw down. We're gonna throw down now. Okay, the hell with protocol. Okay, the hell with safety standards. You put a grown ass man in the ring with the oh no, we're gonna throw down. We're gonna go street version. Okay, and that's what that. If I was that woman, that's what I would have done. And I can't believe that they're gonna let this one. That they're gonna let a pedophile play in the fucking Olympics. This is sick, folks. This is nasty. This is literally delusional. Delusion mainstreamed. It's sick. It's sick. I'm sorry.
All right, Santino, thoughts?
The thing, and I'm sure it's not lost on everybody, but I just want to put a fine point on it to make sure that it's in the front of everybody's head. The Olympics are a family-oriented event. Kids are told to look at these people because of the great achievement of being able to get to the Olympics. Like we have our professional players playing in the Olympics now. And so professional, but I mean, they get paid lots of money to do it for a living, right?
Yeah.
And so this is supposed to be the pinnacle. And so these people, and what was always traditionally a thing with the Olympics is that these people are role models. Now, how can you turn around and tell your kid that this person is a role model and like take them to go see this person to get their signature? Like, what are you supposed to do with this? And it's the Olympic Committee has gone way off base, as you know, with this, but not only with the pedo, but also with the way they did the whole opening ceremonies. The opening ceremonies is another travesty. Now, granted, they apologized about that, but they don't really care. Those are just platitudes that they give out. And that's the thing that's aggravating. And I hope that more and more people are turning it off because it's not a good representation. But at the same time, there are real athletes there who have given their everything. And it's so sad to take away from the real athletes that are there, that are the true role models that you could point your kids towards and say, this is something that, you can achieve if you put your mind to it. This person is there to provide that example. And so they are stealing more away from the parents by having these kinds of things front and center. And it's one of those things that's truly aggravating. And I look forward to all of this crap getting fixed, but that's going to have to deal with, them not getting the money, stop supporting the Olympics. Sadly. Yes.
We have a request from Miss Wendy. Doc, can I ask you a favor? Would you please say when? It would make my day.
Say when, friend. Say when.
That's epic.
Say when.
That's awesome.
And that's exactly what I would have said if I was that woman in that ring. Oh my God. I would have said, I'm gonna be your Huckleberry today. You just say when, friend. We're gonna throw down right now. We're gonna go street version. You need to get this referee the hell out of here. I'm gonna show you what a girl can be tough. Watch this. And I would have laid his ass out.
Just a bunch of low blows. If I was
right
a woman, right in the twig and berries. But
my Southern gentleman charm jumped in and said, "No, stop." I mean, but yeah.
Look, if you're going to put a woman in a ring with a biological male, I say why not? Go for it, because it's not fair anyways.
Exactly.
It's not fair.
Yeah. So go ahead.
The Olympics committee, this should It's unfathomable. You know, the Olympics committee, I had a lot of respect for them at one time. You know, they should have never let this pass. They should have never let this slide. They should have caught this like a fish gets caught in a net. They should have seen this guy and said, well, wait a minute. Felons cannot participate in this. You know, criminals cannot participate in this. You know, this guy is a pedophile.
But
He
he's
cannot
convicted, so how
participate
is
in
he?
this.
Yeah, so if he's convicted, then why is he there?
E-
Or is that a
Exactly.
misdemeanor wherever he's from?
Exactly. And it's like, well, you know, well, first of all, we got to see where the Olympics committee is housed. Where is the Olympics committee housed?
Is it Amsterdam?
I can't
It's
remember.
one of those.
I
Or
can't
Brussels. Is it
I so
Brussels?
don't care about them anymore. They have just ruined the Olympics for me. They
And
really have.
they really have. They really have. The Olymp. I used to love watching the Olympics. I used to.
Oh,
But
me
now-
too. Remember, I don't know if you're old enough to remember, but the hockey team,
Switzerland.
US against Russia, the miracle team. I mean,
What is going on over there in Switzerland that
I
all
don't
these
know.
weird ass things keep coming out of Switzerland? What are y'all
Switzerland,
doing
man,
over there?
That place is just tore up. You know, politically.
Clearly, yeah. Yeah, inmates running the asylum.
You're right. Inmates running the asylum.
Need the groin.
Knee to the groin. If I like, hey, like I said, if I was
Turn.
that woman in that ring, I'd have low blowed the hell out of him. The hell with protocols. You're gonna put me, I'm a grown woman. I'm a woman. You're gonna put me up against a grown man. You're
Yeah.
out of your mind. Watch this.
He's been on estrogen shots for a day. He's a she now. She took one shot. Yeah.
Well, if I was her, now, but listen though, this is the reality of it. That woman's hopes and dreams was ruined.
She
Her
cried in the
hopes
ring.
and dreams were just
Mhm.
smashed, and
Mhm.
they're cheering this. They're over there cheering this
Abomination.
pedophile on, and this woman who has been training for this for so long, her hopes and dreams were just smashed. And it's just like that woman ought to take this to a high level, and she ought to get some compensation for this.
We need a real Olympics after all this stuff is said and done.
That's right.
Need a real one. All right, Kay.
Uh-huh.
Are we ready?
Ooh, it's starting to
Exactly.
storm.
Uh-oh.
It's starting to storm
Yeah.
here.
Okay,
All right,
so
Kay.
here we go. I picked a really good motto today.
All right.
That's our guy.
Because it's you. Then there are people that will always support you because it's you. You just have to know who they are. Thank you for always supporting me and understanding me. Your encouragement has been a big reason for my success, and I'm grateful to you.
So, let me turn this camera on. So,
There you go.
very true. Some people will support you because it's you. Some people will not support you because it's you. And that's why we're here together. That's exactly why we have found our tribe and we stick together and we're there for each other and we love each other and we're open and honest with each other because we have to be. We don't have to buy in. Yes, God says, love your neighbor like you love yourself. But just because we're commanded to love them doesn't mean that we have to buy into their mental illness.
Yep.
Okay. So remember, some people will support you because of who you are, and some people will hate you because of who you are. Make sure you're around the right people. Make sure that you are near the people that mean the most to you. Doc, I cannot thank you enough for coming on here. You are beyond amazing. And I knew this was going to be such an amazing show. And I already cannot wait for you to come back.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Kay, and thank you, Santino. You guys are amazing. You're wonderful people. You really are. And I'm really glad to be friends of yours.
Thank you.
Uh,
You bless us, sir. Thank you.
Yes.
I mean, I'm very happy to be here. I will be able. I'm actually, my schedule is free 2 days from now. I've got to get back in the studio tomorrow because I've got to make a few more videos. But I'll give those of you who are fans here a little sneak peek into something that is coming up. Merch. We're going to be releasing merch here soon, and I'm going to be having a couple of business partners in this. I love you guys too. I love you guys so much. I really do. And it's a little in the making. It's slow, but it's coming up. The Karen videos, as requested, are going to be extended versions. There's not going to be any more of these little short clips that leave you hanging on the end of the videos. We're going to be extended. I'm going to be doing lives a lot more often, and may even come here more often. Never know.
We would be fine with that. You have an open invitation.
You do have an open invitation.
And
It's
I'm
a
gonna
pleasure.
get.
It's our pleasure.
Yeah, I'm gonna get with Jenny. Hopefully, we can get you and Christian and Santino on here. Oh my God, that would be such an amazing
Get
show.
y'all
And
hooked up as
and
well.
I'm just gonna say, go to the bathroom before we start because I'm gonna tell you right now, with Christian, Santino, and you, I know to be 2 to 3,
Well, it's
2 and a
2
half,
hours.
2.5 to 3 hours, easy.
Oh yeah, we could make that a
And
3-hour show. Yeah.
exactly.
And when you do get your merch, Bethany hit the nail on the head. Thank you, Bethany. Get us that link and we'll spam or Telegram and such. So that way people know how to find you and be able to connect with you. I know that you at least got more than a couple new followers during the course of this show.
Yeah.
So
They want you to come on once a week.
Well, I can try to make that work. If that's if you guys would have me. I'm obliged to be here.
Oh my God, it would
just
be
however we can help patriots that are getting the word out. That's what we care
Yes,
about.
That's what we care
And
about.
and small businesses, people trying to,
Mhm.
anything that we can do to get people to get away from buying their crap at Wally World, because
Yeah.
well, that's another one of the big problems that we have is the big box stores, not just Wally World, but any of them that are owned by BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, Merrill Lynch, blah, 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 blah. We need to start buying local. We need to make sure that we're helping out those mom and pop shops. That's how we get. That's another one of the things we can do to get it back. So, Doc, thank you very much for your time. Hang on until after the show because I just want to chat with you for just a minute or two. But I see that you got like family stuff going on, so we're going to make it quick. But anyways,
Okay.
like to thank each and every one of you for joining us today on.
I just wanted to show him because he had said in that video, "Have the day you deserve." We actually have a shirt that says that. Have the day you deserve.
Have the day you deserve.
The day you deserve.
And I will be your huckleberry any day.
There you go. Awesome.
Any day.
Excited.
So we'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining us today on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, Rumble, and Pill.net.
And if you haven't already, please take a moment, give me that virtual hug. If you're over on Rumble or YouTube, hit that thumbs up. If you're over on Pill, hit that red pill. Even if you hit the blue pill, you're still engaged with us, dumbass. So thanks.
Yeah, give us that engagement.
And then if you're over on X, smash that heart. And we love each and every one of you. And thank you guys so very much for always being here with us. And we can't
Y'all are
wait
amazing.
till the next one.
Thank you very much. We love you all. Have a great night. God bless and be safe.
Goodbye.